Howdy! How's everybody out in YouTube land today? I hope this finds you well and the weather better than it is here. It's coming a snowstorm. Apparently Mother Nature did not get the memo that it's spring. What we're going to be doing here today is we're going to be making a bookmark out of leather. What I've got here is just a scrap of leather. Now this is fairly thick. You can get leather in all different thicknesses. And depending upon what you got to work with, it may work better or worse than what I'm working with here. But this is fairly thick piece of leather that I have. I think it'll make a good bookmark. It's going to be good and sturdy. If you have one leather that's too thin, it's going to be kind of flimsy for a bookmark. So I've got this thick piece of leather and I've got a straight edge. And I'm going to be laying a straight edge line into my leather. And I line it up here good so that I can get a good straight line on the leather. And I'm going to use a pen to mark this with. You could use pencil. You can use most anything you want to use to mark it on there with. But you want a good straight line. And I want my bookmark to be the same width as what my ruler is here. And my ruler is about 1 inch wide, I guess. So I'm going to run another line without moving my ruler so that it stays good and straight on both sides. Okay? And there's my lines on my leather. Then you're going to need to cut it. I've got a utility knife here. Hopefully my blade's good and sharp. That would be a plus. But you just come right down that line. You may have to go over it a few times. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to lay something underneath this. My knife won't cut through as it gets to the bottom piece of that leather, but I'll show you here. Just cutting through it the one time did not go all the way through the piece because this is thick. So let me find my board here. And that's going to be easier said than done, I bet you. I'm in the process of trying to move my studio to another room, and everything here is discombobulated at the present time. It's going to take me a second to get it here. No, that's not the one I was reaching for. Where did it go? For goodness sakes, I thought I had it. Well, this will work. What this is a stamp. You put your rubber stamps in there and stamp stuff. That's good enough because it's got a plastic thing on it and my knife won't go through it. So for all intents and purposes, this will do. And I put my knife right back in that same groove and come right down through there. And then I check it out here, and it's just about done. I got a little bit on that end that didn't go through. So we'll go right down that line again and cut it off good and straight. Little piece there on the corner that it didn't get. And there, we got it. Now, get rid of that little piece. Now, got another line on this side. I'll do the same thing. Now, it's up to you. I think I might have got off my line just a little bit there. It's up to you what you want to do with the ends of it. If your ends are real jagged or something, you can square them off some. The ends on this one, I've got one jagged end and one straight end. But my jagged end is kind of at an angle, so I'm not going to be real concerned about that right now. Okay, that was 2 passes at it. I need one more pass. Oops. And it's just about got it. Just make sure we get all the way through on all of it here. And there we go. Got it cut out. both sides. And like I say, this end down here is just a touch jagged. So let me lay a straight edge to that. We're going to smooth that down some. Grab my pen. Now this little grid is going to help me here to keep my ruler and my piece all on the straight and narrow. And where I want my line to be. I think that's looking good right there. You take your utility knife and run right down your line and cut all the way through the leather, just like that. Okay. Now, if you wanted to suede this, you could suede it if you got some heavy grit sandpaper. You come in with heavy grit sandpaper and you just rub this smooth side of the leather. So the other side, that's the back side. You can rub that side too if you want to, but this is the side you're going to be primarily concerned with. And just rub it until it textures up and suades. I mean, I can't put it too much more simple than that. So I got a little strip there that's fraying, so we'll pull that off of there. Now, this would be a bookmark by itself, but we want to decorate this up a little bit, get it a little fancier. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put a hole in it. Now, there's different ways that you can add a hole to your bookmark. You can use an awl and punch a hole in it with an awl. You can use hole punch where you put a little thing underneath there and it's a hole punch that you slam down on it with a hammer. I've got those, but this is the way I prefer to do it. This is belt punch, a hole punch that is used for belts. Now this is old. Man, I tell you what, this has got to be an antique. My daddy used this, and I don't know, it may come from my granny's house for all I know, but this is a hole punch that they use for putting holes in belts, and you just put it over it like you would a regular hole punch that you use for paper, and you just squeeze down really, really hard on there, and you'll hear it click, and when it clicks, it's gone all the way through. And now, it clicked, but apparently it didn't go all the way through because it didn't poke the hole out. So we're going to put it right back over the same hole again. And I'm going to squeeze it again. I can't tell you how many belts in its day that this thing has punched holes in. I can remember this being used when I was a little girl. My daddy punched many, many of a hole in leather belts as we needed them to get bigger or smaller or whatever the case may be. Now, that still didn't go all the way through. So I'm going to, let's see, if I take my knife blade here, just ease around that a little bit. I can't understand why that's not cutting through, except that the leather's really thick. That could have a lot to do with it. But and it's old. Might be a little dull too. Take a little of that material out of there. You'll notice I'm pushing the knife away from me, not toward me. So if you're going to do this, be careful that you don't cut yourself. Just ease some of that material out of there. Let's say I'm raking at it a little bit to get some of it up. Okay, I've got a little out of there. Now I'm going to go at it again. Right over the same hole. There. Snap. Huh? Come on. And don't be dogged. It's just about through. Let's cut part of it. Just help it out a little bit here. Ease right on around that little circle with my knife. And use a paintbrush handle to poke it through. Now we got it. Sometimes it just needs a little help. All right, now you could round the edges off if you felt so inclined to do that. Just take, you know, something that's round enough. You could draw around an edge and you can round them. You can engrave on this. You can put somebody's name on this. You can put flowers on it. You can put animals on it. You know, whatever you want to do. You can draw on it. You can paint on it, engrave on it, whatever suits you, whatever floats your boat. But I'm going to put a little tail on mine, and I'm going to use raffia to do it. You could use sinew, you could use ribbon, you can use all kinds of different mediums to put your little tail on there. But my little tail is going to be used out of raffia because that's what I happened to run across and thought that'd be cute on here. So we're going to start. Be nice if I could find all my tools at one time, wouldn't it? It'll be nice when I get moved to the other room where I can find my stuff. Okay, we got a rough edge on this raffia, so we're just going to cut that roughness off of there. Don't need that old scraggly piece. And I got this nice piece here. And I figure out about how long I want the tail to be on it. And I think we're going to do it about like that. I double it over. And let me put that to the ruler. I'll tell you how long the piece is. It's about 1 foot long. All right. Then I'm going to double it over right here in the middle. Like this. And I'm going to run it through the hole that I just poked in the leather. And loop it around so that I can push this tail right up through the loop. Just like that. Pull it nice and tight. Then you can fray this out. You can put beads on it. You could put charms on it. Whatever you wanted to put on there, you could put on there to decorate it up however you wanted. But there's the piece right there, just a basic leather bookmark. You need teacher gifts. If you have an old belt, I mean, you don't have to have like a box of leather scraps like I've got, although you can get them cheap enough. But if you got a leather belt at home that you don't wear anymore, it's not really good for anything anymore. Maybe the end of it's frayed or something. Cut that frayed end of it off. And then take that leather belt. Most of them are tooled. You just cut you a piece of that off, poke a hole in it, put you some kind of a tail on it. Whatever you want to use. It could be another, you know, like leather cord. You know, whatever kind of cord you want to use on it. Maybe put some beads or charms or something like that on it. And it's good to go as a bookmark. Makes cute gifts. I mean, eventually Christmas is going to come back around. You're going to need some stocking stuffer gifts. You're going to need some inexpensive little gifts to pass out to people. And those bookmarks, quick, simple. If you use a plain piece like this, maybe you got a plain belt, you can always paint on it or put their name on it. Whatever it is that you want to do to decorate it up. But that's how you do just a simple bookmark, quick and easy, and a nice little gift. Check out all my links in the description of the video. Check out my Etsy store, my Patreon channel. Go over and check out some of the videos that I've got on Twitch, because I do some different things over there. Check out my Twitter and my Instagram. Follow me around. I'm pretty easy to find most anywhere. Drop me an email. My email link's there in the description of the video too. And with all that being said, I think there's only one thing left to say, and that's Brenda's Crafty. Be like Brenda.